The things that you should not say to a strong woman and to a single mom. So Emily Adams here, and I thought this would be a really fun video, maybe to raise the awareness of the things that you should not say to a single mom or to someone that is very strong in their personality and in lifting. And with all of the things that I'm going to share, I just want to say that it has been a very good learning lesson for me to raise my awareness of how words and questions can affect other people. Even if there's questions that we are trying to be sincere and genuine about, and we just want to get to know the other person, be careful with those questions because you don't know what's going on in their life behind closed doors. You don't know what they're truly struggling with. And so to kick it off, I'm going to start with some of the things I hear when people find out that I'm a single mom and I powerlift. And the one that really comes to my mind right away is, dang, you're strong and you're a mom? That's hot. I bet you couldn't squat me. Yo, I don't want to squat you. I've gotten this more than once, and my response, it used to trigger me to be like, who in the world do you think you are? Now, I just kind of find it funny because it's like, okay, they don't understand what they're really saying. They're trying to give a compliment, whatever, like, let it go. But my response is, I'm not really into picking up people. But I share this just so you have the awareness. If you are going to go out and talk to a woman that lifts and strong and that kind of thing, don't say that. Just don't. It's not a good idea. The other one is you are really strong and you also have a strong personality. I bet your boys are intimidated by you. Say what? Nope. I am not an intimidating person. I have a strong personality, but my intention is to never intimidate anyone. And my boys are definitely not intimidated by their mom. Definitely not. Do they respect me? Yes, because I have taught them that. But at the same time, I don't intimidate my children. Like, we have a very loving, amazing relationship that I am so, so grateful for. So, nope, not intimidating my children. The next one is, don't get too bulky. You don't want to be bulky. Pretty sure that in order for a female, especially a female, to get bulky, she needs to change her nutrition, her workouts, and really have that as a goal before she gets too bulky. And my other question is, what is too bulky? Who's the bulky police here, right? Interesting, though, I've been told multiple times, I want to lose weight, but I don't really want to look like you because you're too bulky. Cool. I don't want you to look like me because I'm going to be me and you're going to be you, right? The next one is, especially when you're lifting in the gym and you have someone come up to you and say, do you think you should be lifting that much? What if you hurt yourself? Aren't you scared you're going to hurt yourself? Nope. It's not like I put 500 pounds on my back and try to squat it and I never squatted it before or even worked up to it. Pretty sure that I'm going to be fine. But again, they don't understand that I'm not going to go in and do that. I know how to lift. And especially when it comes to females and lifting, there still seems to be a lot of different myths, and people that haven't been around lifting a whole lot will find like it's not always common for a woman to lift heavy, especially if they're not familiar with powerlifting or strongman or like whatever it is. It can seem uncommon for a woman to go into a gym and lift heavy. Like I know that's kind of like what society is still in, is don't lift heavy. And a lot of females are still scared to lift heavy because they are afraid of getting bulky or hurting themselves. Yes, you can hurt yourself lifting heavy if you don't do it properly. But be careful making that comment to someone that's competed in powerlifting for 4 years. So I say that all these comments and all the things, and also I'm just going to talk a little bit about the DMs. When people slide into your DMs, you have 2 ways to respond. Actually, you have more than 2 ways. But you can either delete the comments and not respond, or you can make a choice to educate them. Educate them that, yeah, like this is actually not true, or I don't appreciate being talked to like that. I don't appreciate you sliding into my DMs and telling me what a nice butt I have, or whatever it is. Like, you can't educate them. If you can't come from a place of love and education, don't respond at all. Just delete it and move on. Trust me, I've had my fair share of DMs. And I used to get so angry about the DMs. Like, why do you feel like it's okay to DM me that stuff? Like, why? It's not okay. But I am sure that guys have the same thing happen to them from females. So it works both ways. I'm not saying that guys just slide in DMs, because I'm sure women do the exact same thing. So if you're a woman watching this, don't be sliding into a guy's DM saying that stuff either. Because it's just not appropriate. If you want to get to know the person, reach out and say, I want to get to know you. Or ask if you can get to know them. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as saying that. So the DM conversation of saying those inappropriate things, you get to choose whether you're going to take the higher version of yourself or if you're going to get angry and let it trigger you. And if it triggers you, ask yourself why. Is it because it's disrespectful? Okay, if that's why, where in your life are you not being respectful? Let it be a mirror to you. And I share all of these things because a lot of times we sit there and we say stuff without even really thinking about it. And I've been guilty of this myself. For example, I have before asked like couples that were in a relationship for a very long time. I'm sure that everyone has done this where they're like, when are you guys gonna get married? Like, right? That's just kind of a question you ask. But really, it's not okay to ask that. If they want to ask, if they want to share when they're going to get married, they'll share. Or if they want to share that they're thinking about getting married, they'll share. You don't know, maybe one of the partners don't want to get married right now. And now you've kind of made it uncomfortable for them. The same way about having children. So when are you guys going to have children? Like, when's that going to happen? You don't know if they're trying to have children. You don't know that. So be careful when you ask these questions that you really think about the things that you are asking. And I just share my experience because it not only really opens my awareness of, man, I need to be aware of the questions that I'm asking people, even if it's coming from a genuine place and I just want to have conversations, but being very aware of what I'm asking because it may not make them feel comfortable. It may be triggering something in them. And yes, I can't be held responsible for triggering someone, but at the same time, I can be respectful and be very aware of the questions that I'm asking and the language that I'm using. And that's kind of like why I share my experience from someone that powerlifts and that is a single mom, because I get questions all the time that literally blow my mind of like, and then I have to ask myself, like, what makes them ask that question, right? And then I just get curious about it. So before you go and ask someone again a question, think about yourself. Think about, are you asking it to genuinely get to know them? And is that something that you would want to be asked? Or could there be another way for you to get to know them? Maybe the better question would be, what lights you up about life? Really get to know them at that level instead of, the surface level thing of like, what's your career? What do you do? Those things, like ask them the deeper questions to really, really get to know them, to really understand what lights them up. So that's that's just my thoughts on what not to ask. Feel free to comment below any crazy questions that you have gotten, or any questions that have made you be like, say what? And like, subscribe, do all the things. I would appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.